Hi everyone, my name is Prue. I'm a Client Success Manager here at Formitize. Thanks so much for joining today's webinar. As you saw in the event, we're going to talk about the Formitize Specialist Pest Reports. As being the main focus. Some of you may be new to Formitize, some of you may be existing clients that are or aren't using our specialist reports. So this session is here to tell you more about how those reports work. We will touch on some of the other elements in Formitize, but the main focus is the reports. So I just wanted to let you know about our reports and the reasons behind certain elements of the way that they've been built. So we've built them to be in accordance with the Australian standards. They're also in line with the APNA Code of Practice. So making sure that they're exactly as they need to be. They're approved by the insurers. So Rapids, Wymark, Wallace have approved our report, so you can make sure that they are compliant. They're built in a way to be really easy for the inspector out in the field to complete. So easy for you to be in the field, filling out the report, and upon submission, that will produce a PDF that can be emailed automatically. And we'll go through that in more detail throughout this session. They're really easy for the admin team back in the web portal to be able to view and also edit. So it may be when you're out in the field that you're filling it in and you may have made a mistake and your admin team go back and check it. I mentioned before that we can automatically email those reports, and the way we do that, and you'll see that when we do an example of those forms on the app today, that you can actually choose in the form by a simple question whether or not you're ready for that report to be sent to the client straight away or not. So really easy then for your admin team to be able to go back into that report, check it over, make any changes if needed, and then simply answer that question, yes, that it is ready to go to the client, and that can be emailed automatically. The forms are built in our standard format, so that means that you can use our form builder, which is simple drag and drop functionality, to be able to rearrange the forms if you need to. You can edit form fields. You can add more drop-down options, checkbox options, totally up to you. So they're flexible, and that's really easy to use. So there are thousands of pesties using these reports every day already. So some of those include Flick, Rentokil, and also smaller businesses. So they're easy to use and compliant, and that was the goal when we made these reports. So with the reports, as I mentioned, they can be completed on the app, and they can be used together with our job functionality to be able to have your agreements pre-sent to your client as a web form to get your client to sign off on those agreements, and that can be automatically done through our job functionality with our job type templates doing that automatically for you. When you're using our reports, if you were to connect them to a job in Formitize, that will also pre-fill customer information. So the CRM that Formitize has will populate those forms, so things like names and addresses, contact details, and also being able to make it really easy to see that everything is together. The reports look really good. You've got the opportunity to be able to have a photo on the front of the report as a cover. You can also make any changes throughout the forms to make them suit your style and change any wording that you like. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just have a look into the management portal, and I'll show you what an end PDF looks like of a report, and then we'll have a look at how that works and also have a look on the app so you can see how easy it is to complete. Okay, so you should see the web portal now. So in the web portal, you've got access to all of the reports. So when you create a pest control account with Formitize, or if you choose to opt in to our reports, all of the forms will be loaded onto your account automatically. So we have a suite of around 19 forms that are available under the pest control license. So that covers off everything from general pest agreements, your pre-purchase and termite inspections as well. So if we have a look in the form bank here, we'll be able to see a few of those PDFs so you can get an idea of the look and the feel of our reports. So here, if we have a look at a pre-purchase timber pest inspection report, you will see that we've got that cover that allows you to have an image of the property. Got the title of the report and the customer's address is coming into that report as well. Your logo is also populating from your company settings. Further through the report, you'll see that we have a contents page that makes it nice and easy for the customer to be able to see the different sections of the report. So you'll see these headers, colours throughout the report as well. Keep going through, you'll see we've got the customer's contact information. So again, as I said before, that can populate from the CRM or through a job. And then we have details about the agreement. So you can link this back to the agreement that you've had completed prior to the inspection. Then you've got the summary. So this is a really key feature and a really easy way for customers to be able to see if there are any issues. Obviously, in this example, we're trying to highlight all of the questions that are available within the report. So it is showing a lot of issues within this particular property, but you can see here that it's specifying where there is an issue. So the red indicator is obviously showing that there's something that the customer needs to look at in more detail, and they'll be directed to the section in the report that will show them more information about this. Now, this section of the form, you'll see when we're on the app and we're completing it, that this all comes from the information when you're doing the inspection. So for example, when you're looking at there's hindered areas and access that you couldn't get to, then by answering that question in the form itself, it will update this summary page for you. So really easy for the client to have a snapshot, and for yourself as well, to be able to see where there were any issues within the inspection, and you know exactly where to see more information. So as we go through the report, again, you can see where we have the photo of the property, all of the information about the property that you would expect to see in a report is there for you. And you'll see that again when we go through and complete a report. They're simple checkbox options for you to be able to choose, and that will populate the answers in the form for you. So you can see here that we've indicated that there's hindered access and there's further information that is asked. So if we were to say that there were no obstructions in this particular inspection, then we wouldn't see the additional question. So it makes it really easy to be able to complete the report, because you'll see all of the questions that you need to complete and you can move through it nice and easily. There are photo fields that are available, so you can take as many photos as you need within the report, and they can be from the photo library or in your device, or taken straight as a photo through the Formitize app. So we won't go through everything within the report, but you can see that we cover off all of the elements that you'll need to cover off in your inspection. There is opportunity at the bottom of the report to be able to have your technician's information come in automatically, as well as all of your terms and conditions and signatures from your customer. So I'm going to now go to the app, and I'll show you what it looks like to be able to complete a form on the app. Okay, so this is what the Formitize app looks like. So really clear and really easy to use. We do work on both Apple and Android devices, and we do have offline functionality as well. So as I mentioned, lots of features that Formitize has, but you can use each of those elements standalone. So if we have a look at the forms which we're focusing on today, you'll see that we'll have a list of all of the forms that are available in this particular account to be able to complete. We do also have saved forms and previously submitted forms that are available. So if you needed to, for example, clone a form that you've completed already, you may be in a strata property where it's the same detail over and over again, you can clone a form to make that process a bit easier for you. We're going to again have a look at the pre-purchase inspection. And you can see here again the contents image that we spoke about before. The first section, we've got that client details. So as I mentioned, you're able to search the customer within the CRM, or you can create a new customer from here as well. That will populate all of their details. So you can make sure that data accuracy is there and not having any errors when you're inputting information in on a day-to-day basis. The question about whether or not we want to send a copy of the report to the customer once it's been submitted. So nice and easy here to be able to see what's happening with the form once it's been submitted with those clear buttons. You can see that the property has populated within the property inspected field from my customer information, as well as the inspection date and time is auto-populated. So it just makes it a faster process. You'll see all of the questions available, simple checkbox options and radio buttons so that it's nice and quick to fill in the report. About the agreement, so you can note your pre-purchase agreement details in here, and our company information is going to pull in automatically. So again, we don't need to fill in information over and over again when we're using these reports day after day. So I spoke before about the inspection summary. So this is the section that you do not need to complete, because when we are doing the actual inspection, it will populate that summary for you. So you can see here, I've got the opportunity to take that photo of the property and then enter in all of the details about the type of property, how it's built. Okay, I'm not going to answer all of the questions. As you can appreciate, it is a long form, but I want to show you some of the key features and the reasons why we built the form the way that we did. So you can see here when we talk about hindered access that we have the opportunity to say whether or not there were obstructions that could have concealed that possible timber pest attack. So if we were to say no, you can see that is a good thing and it's green, and I can put in some additional comments and keep going with my report. If I was to say yes, you will see that I've got the opportunity to be able to note what those hindered areas are. So we've got options there for you, but you can also put other options as well. Okay, so wherever there's opportunity for you to maybe answer something that's not already there, you'll find that other option available. Here as well, you can take further photos. Again, you can take as many photos as you need or pull them from your library. The same goes for things like restricted access. So if we say that there is an issue, we can add further information. If we say that there's no restricted access, we can just keep going. Okay, findings and observations. So if you were to find live termites, you can click on yes, and then you'll be able to further see images of different species of termites. These are not presented in the PDF, they're just for the technician's reference. So you can have a look and see and make sure that you're identifying correctly. Okay. So this can also note down where you found that termite, sorry, and be able to put in additional information. So I know that, the form has a lot of information that you're putting in. Your forms will save automatically about every 15 seconds back to the management portal. So you're not going to lose any of that data that you've been collecting. Okay, so keep going with the report. We can specify if we found any termite nests and where they are. Okay, we'll just keep going through a little bit further. We have also ability to be able to show the durable notice. So you may take a photo of that if you can find it at the property. Fungal decay, borers, everything that needs to be in the report, obviously meeting the standards and your insurer specifications are all here. Conducive conditions. So there's a lot of information that can be collected here. So if we have a look at water leaks, for example, we can indicate exactly where they were and add in other options, as well as giving recommendations and further comments. Moisture readings, same applies. So if we say yes, we're going to have extra options to be able to note that in our report. And if we said no, we won't see all of those questions. So covers off everything: drainage, ventilation, mold, any exposed timbers, slab edges, ant capping and weep holes. Okay, and again, we've still got the opportunity to say if there's any further conducive conditions that you'd like to report on, and you can add those in as well. So really, you've got the option to be able to add in as much information as possible. We have the terms and conditions in the form. They are available to view when you're filling out the form. So if you're getting the client to acknowledge the report here on the spot when you're with the customer, you can choose to have a look at them straight away. Or if you're just filling it out yourself and you're going to send it to the customer, then that is obviously going to be part of the PDF. You've got the inspector's contact details populating automatically. Their license can come in. You can sign on glass to be able to sign off on that report. So that's available in all of our reports, including our quoting and invoicing. As I mentioned before, the form can trigger automatic email of the PDF, but if you wanted to send it to an additional email address as well, so you can add extra email addresses to the report. And then we have the client acknowledgement, so they can sign off on the report as well. You can look at a preview of the report when you're in the app as well. And obviously, once it's been submitted, you can go back and look at it at any time. So we're going to jump back into the management portal and show you a little bit more about how to view forms and also edit them. So we're back on the management portal now. So we can have a look at reports at any time as they're being saved, or as you, like, after you have completed it. So I'm going to show you now how to edit a form. So in the forms tab, you can have a look at your submitted forms. Then you can click on that form. So your All Forms tab is going to show you all the forms that you have submitted within your account, and you can additionally create your own custom tabs to be able to see certain tabs in certain areas. So if you wanted to keep all of your termite forms together and see certain information from those reports, you can definitely do that in this space. So we're going to have a look at the pre-purchase timber pest inspection. So you can see here that it's just like the report that we were obviously filling out in the app. So we just go through it as normal to be able to make any changes. So quite simply, make any changes that you need to make within the form, and then you can save and submit the form when you're done. Okay. So you'll see in the form as well that you can navigate throughout the report to be able to go to certain sections within the report. You can also have a look at the email log to see when the report was emailed. So if customer wants a copy of it again, obviously you can see if that's already been done. You can also view the PDF to be able to email it from here as well. So we've seen all of the pre-purchase inspection form in the app, and we've then had a look at it in the portal. We'll just jump back into the form bank so that you can see some of the different forms that we have available. As I mentioned, there's 19 in total in our Formitize specialist reports. So as I said, covers off agreements, pre-purchase that we've already gone through, commercial proposals, as well as inspections generally, and also your general pest report. So all of these reports are available to any of our clients. So if you wanted to have a look at those, we'll put up some links after the session as well so that you can test them out for yourself. The termite management action plan is also a really smartly built report. So we can have a look here to see what the PDF looks like, and we'll also go back and have a look at completing one of those reports. So again, having the cover page available, customer address coming into the front page of the report, and also your logo. You've got some details that you can obviously edit as well. So that's just content about what you're doing in, like, what this document is that you're providing. And again, customer information coming in automatically, all of the details about the particular property. Your inspection details. Nice and easy to be able to see, again, with the red and green indicators. Risk assessment, your proposed course of action, or what you're going to be treating that property with. And then the inspection items that are going to be actioned, so both by the property owner and by the pest manager themselves. So you can see that there is elements here where the client agrees or doesn't agree. So when you're filling in your report, you can put all of your recommendation, which then when you send this as a web form to your client, they are able to say yes, they agree, or no, they don't, and that will adjust the pricing accordingly. So it's really clear for the customer to be able to see exactly how much it's going to cost, and they can, you know, change that around to see what suits their needs. So that's what the end PDF looks like. And so we might just jump back into a report so that you can see exactly how that works. So again, available on the app and the portal. If we have a look at the action plan, okay, so again, choosing our customer to be able to populate that information automatically, answering all the questions about the type of property, but we'll go down to the recommendations. Okay. So you'll see that different options will appear based on those check boxes that are selected. So the initial inspection, your recommended items. So these are drop-down answers. So you can add more options into this through the form builder. and you can add as many as you need to. Okay, then when the customer is receiving this as a PDF, they're able to agree to those charges, and that is going to change the pricing. If we had a price in there. Okay. Again, the products that you're applying, there are options that are available in the form already, but obviously you can go into the form template and add any extra chemicals that you use or remove any that you don't use as well. Just makes your form easier to use day to day. Okay. So that shows how the action plan works. We do also have functionality to be able to have your brochures that you select within filling in the form automatically send to the customer, and we can show you how that can be edited on your form. This form does have a mud map, so the drawing tool is available on the app for you to be able to do a drawing, or you can upload an image just like taking a photo in other reports that we've spoken about. Okay, so we have a few questions coming through on this session as well. So I might just read through those. If you had any questions, feel free to add them in. If we don't get through all of them today, we'll definitely get back to you on those answers. So there's a few questions about editing forms. So because we've got some extra time, I will go into the form builder and show you how to do that. So in the form builder, you can view form templates. So as I said, simple drag and drop functionality to be able to make changes to a form. So I'll just go into this customer feedback form. They all work in the same way. There is, again, a video icon, which is throughout the portal, that will give you more information about the page that you're on. We also have our help menu that's got a user guide that's got lots of information, as well as our YouTube channel that has lots of videos as well. So if we click on through to the form builder, we're able to make changes to the form. So common things that you may do when you're editing a form would be changing wording or changing drop downs, for example. So if I quickly put a drop down field into my form, you'll see that on the far right hand side, I've got the option. So by default, it's just got yes, no, or not applicable. So if this was, for example, the chemicals that you're using, if you don't use a particular example, you can hover over the far right to delete that option. If you wanted to add further options, you can just type that in and add it. You can add multiple chemicals or options that you have in one go. You don't need to keep adding after one. You can also, if you made a mistake, when you made one of those options, you can just double click on it to be able to edit it and make that change. Drop-down options and checkboxes also have the allow other, which means when you're filling in the form and it's going to be something else, then you can add in that option that's available then as a one-off. If you wanted it to save that option, you can also choose the save other. So whatever you're filling out in the field, we'll just keep adding to that list. Most people would come into the form builder and make that change and just allow other for add in the field. Sometimes that field option is something that you're never going to use again. So you don't want to have too many options within your drop downs in the form. It just makes it a little bit harder day to day. Okay, another question that we have is about the photo field. So definitely you can add in as many photo options as you like within your forms. So again, in the toolbox on the left-hand side, you can click on Advanced and then simply drag in that camera field wherever you'd like it to be. So one camera field will allow you to take multiple photos. So they can be through the camera on the app itself, or you can upload an image from your library, and you can do both with the same field. You don't need to have a different field for those different options. A lot of people will also have a text field, so a simple entry field of a text box, to be able to add a comment about those photos, which makes it nice and easy to be able to read the report. So lots of options in relation to editing fields, and you saw how simply that was done. So once you make your changes to your report, just make sure you save and then deploy the form. So the next time you start the form, once the app is synced out in the field or new on the portal, it will be that latest version of the form. So photo fields can be anywhere. And if you were to mark up a photo within your photo library on your device, that can definitely bring in circles and lines and things like that that you would like to have marked up on a photo within a photo field. Okay. So I think that covers off some basic things of form building. As I said, we've got the videos that are available. The webinar series goes through form building and also more complex form building for those that of you that are interested. The next webinar session that is the regular series on Tuesday next week is about web forms. So that will go through how to build forms, how to embed them onto your website for things like customer contact and inquiries, as well as being able to automate the web form process through your job type template. So being able to have an agreement automatically sent out when you book a job and get that to be completed. So fine example is a pre-purchase inspection. You can book the job and then automatically have the web form agreement send out to your customer, and then it's connected to your job. So it's really easy to be able to see that that has been completed before you actually attend the job. So that is on Tuesday. Just going through, making sure I've covered off all of the questions. Okay, I think I've covered them all off. So next steps in what's coming in Formitize. It's always exciting to be able to talk about new features that are coming to the portal. So we have our new building inspection report suites that will be released this month. An upgrade to our drawing tool, so more functionality there and a lot of cool features that are coming through as well. So another exciting thing is our website add-on. So this is huge for clients to be able to have the whole package really. So your website can connect with your Formitize account to be able to have jobs, contacts, and your leads automatically integrated. So really smooth transition in that space as well. And our client portal. So a way for your clients to be able to see with permissions that you set different elements within Formitize. So whether that be jobs that have been completed and also their reports, making it nice and easy for them to be able to look for previous reports as opposed to calling you and asking for you to resend it again. So super exciting things coming out from Formitize. So we'll keep it updated on our socials. You will see the new little update pop-ups that have been coming in the portal. So they'll help you be aware of new and exciting things that have been released. We also have some options for what happens next. So as I mentioned earlier in the session today, that some of you may be new to Formitize, some of you may have been using us for a while, but maybe not aware of our reports. So I'm going to pop up some options of what we can do next. So you can book a demo with Formitize. You can order some pest reports to be available on your account, or you can get started with Formitize by starting a free trial. So I'll keep the QR codes up for a few more minutes so that you can scan those and get booked in. We're definitely here to help. We will be sending through an email of a recording of this, so you can go back and watch any of the elements that you wanted to recap on. And definitely we're here to answer any further questions that you have. Thanks so much for joining, and have a good evening.